Welcome, gun runner.
Hello everybody, Kieran aka the Laird here, and I have a new episode of Laird's Lowdown for you with some lots of little things actually to mention, but mostly around one subject, obviously, as I've alluded to in the title of the video, in terms of new mini consoles. But there's a couple of other things I wanted to mention as well. I kind of lots of things I wanted to cram into one video because as you watch this, I'm actually on holiday, so a lot of this news has probably already been reported on, but I had a very strict video schedule set up to record videos in advance when I was away, and a lot of this news crept up on me somewhat, so I delayed another video to get this in, and I filmed this one literally right before I left for holiday. So I really wanted to sort of talk about some of the stuff I'm going to talk about in a moment. And I'll quickly mention the first thing, which is not related to the main subject of the video. And I've alluded to it slightly with my top today, this Master of the Universe one, because I saw last night that they've announced a new Master of the Universe game, which is very Golden Axe inspired. And I'll put the trailer up here because it looks amazing. Proper pixel graphics scrolling beat 'em up. So very, very Golden Axe like, and it looks so good. I can't wait to play it. It's going to be a must buy straight away. And I'm sure you'll all agree. It's the He-Man game that I've been waiting my whole life for, I have to say. It looks like a Konami arcade game from the early 90s. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really good indeed. But yeah, so I just wanted to get that in there at the beginning because I just had to mention it, but it wasn't worth making a whole video just on that little one bit. But yes, mini consoles. So in the last week or so, we've had a load of new ones announced. Mad, actually, how many have suddenly flooded out the door. And the first one I want to talk about is the new Evercade handhelds. Actually, I think they're not Evercade marketed, they're Hyper Megatech, which is kind of their sister brand, which they do the little Evercade Super Pocket consoles, Evercade compatible ones, which I've obviously looked at on the channel a few times. And they've made some even more smaller versions of those, which are basically like, they're calling them gaming key rings. So they looks like they're no bigger than your hand really from the pictures. Obviously I'm putting pictures up here that you can see. But you'll be able to attach it to your keys while you do that. I don't know. I never get these gaming key rings. I've got a Tetris one, a Pac-Man one. I'd never dream of putting on my keys because it's too bulky to put on your keys and it just gets scratched and broken. So what'll be the point? So I don't get the whole gaming keyring thing. It's certainly not a product for me, but they do look quite cool at least. I think most people will just get them to collect them and stick them in a drawer, to be honest. I don't think anyone will be actually using for keyrings, but there's four. Two of them are Atari related. You've got Centipede, and I'm just looking now, so I forgot. It is Asteroids. I couldn't think if it's Asteroids or Missile Command. So you've got Centipede and Asteroids, are the two Atari ones. Then you've got a Burger Time one, obviously Data East license, and Space Invaders from Taito. So all big name arcade classics. I'm sure they'll do more of these if these ones sell well. Evercade have got plenty to go on. Obviously they've got licensing agreements in place with all sorts of different people already. So I'm sure we'll see more of these. I might get the Centipede one just because I'm such a huge, Atari fan. But yeah, they're quite cool looking, but I can't see anyone, actually using them because I find the Super Pockets too small, to be honest. So these tiny little things I think are going to be very impractical to use. It's like that Atari Mini, Atari 2600 thing they did, the tiny TV thing, which looks so cool, and I bought one because it looks so cool, but you're never going to play games on it because it's just totally impractical. But yeah, they look cool anyway. Let me know what you think, as always, of course. But I can see them more being collectible items than anything else. The second one, which is one kind of everyone knew was coming, but it's now been officially announced, is the A1200 Mini from Retro Games Limited. So we all knew that they were going to do an AGA Amiga 32-bit one. Everyone was hoping it would be a one with a proper working keyboard and stuff. Doesn't look like it at all. Everyone's still waiting for the the Amiga Maxi, so to speak, like they did with the Commodore 64. We've got the Mini and the Maxi. Everyone's still waiting for the Amiga Maxi. They were hoping they were going to do that. Doesn't look like they are. They said before that it had been delayed because of disputes over licensing. There is massive disputes over Amiga licensing, over who actually owns Amiga, who owns the name, the operating system. Oh, it's an absolute mess. The way Commodore was split up and sold off back in the 90s when they went bust is mad, and there seems to be lots of people who claim to own stuff that they don't, and the lawsuits, everyone's suing each other and arguing with each other. And there's been this whole thing about the YouTuber Perifractic buying Commodore, and there's whole disputes over has he actually bought Commodore, because again, there's multiple companies who claim to own the Commodore name and the Commodore products. Again, that seems to be caught up in a bit of a mess. And a lot of people don't seem to realise that even if he has bought Commodore as a name, he probably doesn't own anything else. Because, like, for example, Cloanto owned the operating system, which is who Retro Games Limited licensed it from for the 64 Mini and Maxi. I think Cloanto owned some of the Amiga IP as well. So it's such a mess. And I know they're already saying that they're going to do its ultimate Commodore 64, but whether it actually comes to anything, I don't know. I'm a bit dubious. A lot of people are getting excited about the whole Perifractic thing. I'm very dubious of it, I have to say, because I think he's going to find a big legal mess that he can't sort out and will need a lot of money to sort out that he doesn't have. So yeah, I'm very dubious about that, but that's another subject. Retro Games Limited know that it's a mess, and that's why they said that they'd delayed the Amiga Maxi, but now they seem to have ignored that completely, and they're going to A1200 Mini, which I assume will just be have an unusable keyboard like the A500 Mini and C64 Mini. So that's coming. The only other fact we know about it is it's going to have Settlers 2 as one of the built-in games, because the Settlers 2 was announced to the Amiga back in the day but never came out, and they announced recently that they were finally bringing it out for Amiga, so everyone can finally play it, proper officially licensed and everything, and they've already announced that that's going to be one of the built-in games on the Amiga Mini, Amiga 1200 Mini even, so that's quite cool. I'd expect that the other games will be a load of Team 17 stuff, all stuff that Retro Games Limited already have licensing agreements for. I think you'll see the 21st Century Entertainment games on there, like Marvin's Marvelous Adventure, Pinball Fantasies, because they're all owned by Rebellion, who, again, Retro Games Limited already have a licensing agreement with them. Some of the Ocean stuff, which they already own, because they bought up a load of the Ocean IP. So yeah, I think it'll be quite obvious, the stuff that you see on the A1200 Mini. I can't see there being any surprises in terms of the game selection. Apart from Settlers 2. Be interesting to see how many games they do put on it though, and whether they come back to the whole Maxi thing or not, don't know. But I was interested to see actually with the A1200 Mini, Amiga fans seem to be a bit like meh. I think it's because they don't want another unusable Mini, so to speak, in terms of the keyboard. People want a proper Amiga, so they don't seem to be very excited about it. I've seen almost no buzz around it. All the comments I've seen in the Amiga groups and stuff, and it's been posted, it's all just been like, meh, nah, not really a product for me. I'd rather keep my original one or wait for a Maxi kind of thing, you know. So yeah, I can't see that one being a huge success at all. And weirdly, they've announced another new 64 Mini, a black edition. I don't see what the point in that at all is. I don't know who they're trying to market it to. They're saying it's inspired by the underground demo scene, is how Retro Games Limited have described it. Why black? Is that black, the colour black, and associated with the demo scene? I don't think it is really. I don't see the point. I don't know why they're doing it. Seems very pointless indeed, but no logic to some of what people do. But I can't see that being a big seller either. I'm a bit perplexed by that one. But they've said they've got lots of new products coming. I mean, the Maxi, I assume, will be one of them at some point, and we already know they're doing an Atari ST Mini because that got leaked. I already did a video about that, and potentially a full-size 800 XL computer as well. So they did the A400. Now there'll be the Maxi version of that would be a full recreation of the 800 XL, because that got leaked as well. They're not very good at keeping stuff quiet. They've got lots of people who leak stuff. but yeah, whether intentionally or not, but it was quite amusing on one of my videos where I was talking about the stuff that had been leaked, and their CEO Darren Melbourne commented on the video and said, "How do you know this?" And then when I pointed out how I knew it, he I think he deleted one of his comments and didn't reply to the other one, which was quite funny. So he obviously knew straight away how I knew that information, and he couldn't really argue it. Did make me laugh quite a lot. But yeah. And then the last one of all, I kept the last one to the end because it's the most exciting mini announcement by far, is that a new company have been set up who are calling themselves Vectrex, and they claim to have official license to use the name and everything. I assume they got that from Jay Smith, who still owns anything to do with Vectrex, and he was the one who released Vectrex and all its games into public domain. So they set up a new company actually called Vectrex, using the same name and logo and everything. They're a French company, which is quite strange, considering the Vectrex originated from obviously the US. But they're set up by some French enthusiasts, and they're at Gamescom at the moment, which I think is in Germany. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. And they've unveiled these new Vectrex Mini that are going to bring out, which looks so cool. It really does. Absolutely brilliant idea. So that's going to be like one of these mini arcade machines, a bit like you've seen with like Neo Geo ones they did. And Sega did one, didn't they, as well? I think Taito did one, so it'd be something like that, but with a detachable little control. So they've said that they'll use AMOLED screens, so they won't be proper vector displays, but that was obvious anyway. So obviously it'd be trying to have the look of a vector display. So AMOLED's a good choice, I think, for that. They do look really cool from the photos. They've shown them running and everything. They are quite small. They look really good. I'd definitely be interested in buying one of those if they get that up and going. And they have announced actually that it's going to go through Kickstarter initially, unsurprisingly. And actually you can go to vectrex.com, their website, and they've already got a thing on there so you can register interest. So once the campaign goes live, they'll let you know, and give you some advance warning of it maybe, and that also gives you a chance to give them feedback and ideas and stuff like that as well. They've already kind of built up this trying to build up this community to build interest on it, which I think is a great idea. Involve as many people as possible. So doing it in a really good way, and I wish them best of luck with the project, and I hope it does come to something, and I think it will. I think when it gets to Kickstarter, it will smash it, because original Vectrexes are so hard to find now. They go for so much money working ones. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have one. My wife got me years ago, as I've talked about many times. One of the most prized things in my retro game collection. It's actually literally down here next to me. Yeah, I love my Vectrex and wouldn't get rid of it for the world. But it'd be nice to have one, you know, that I could use to not damage my original. Especially a mini one that doesn't take up so much space and isn't as heavy. I'd definitely get behind that if the price was right. It'd be interesting to see how much they cost. I'm speculating it would probably be looking maybe 150 to 200. I think you'd probably be looking in that category maybe for one of these. We'll see though. We'll see. Hopefully they don't price themselves out. But I think it will sell no problem. I think they'll smash their Kickstarter. I think it'll be a big success. As I say, I wish them best of luck with it. And it's certainly the first mini I've seen in ages that I've actually said, I'd actually buy that. I can't say I've thought that about any of the recent minis that have been announced. Certainly not the stuff from Retro Games Limited. Yeah, there just hasn't been much excitement or interesting stuff around the minis at all. It's interesting to see Nintendo haven't done any more either. Everyone's expecting them to in N64. Now analog 3D have come, that's come in and sort of taken up some of that space, I suppose. It's interesting they haven't done a Game Boy Mini. Everyone was expecting them to release a Game Boy, loads of built-in games. They haven't done it. Very, very strange indeed. I wish Atari would come in and do a Lynx Mini. I do. That would be the one I'd want to see. Very much so. And I'm sure they'll probably do a Jaguar at some point as well, which I think will do well. Again, for the same reason as Vectrex, real Jaguars are hard to find, expensive, games are expensive, etc. But yeah, let me know what you think, obviously, down in the comments. I'm always interested to hear your views on all these new bits of kit that are coming out on the news and stuff. And actually, one last thing to mention when I talk about Atari earlier in this video, I meant to talk about at the beginning and forgot. new Bubsy game. I predicted it in one of the previous episodes of Laird's Lowdown that Atari would do a new Bubsy game. And I said, I bet they'll make a new Bubsy game, and they are. They've announced it. Bubsy 4D, which is brilliant. They've done it as a sequel to Bubsy 3D. So that's a proper 3D platformer Bubsy game. I think they'll do a 2D one as well. But it's interesting to see them go down a 3D platformer route, because almost no one's doing that now. So if they get this right, I think it could be really good, big success. From the trailer, it looks excellent. It looks really good. It looks like they've really captured the whole cheesiness of Bubsy and the catchphrases and stuff like that. Again, I'll run the trailer at the end here for Bubsy, because I think it's quite a cool project. I don't really like platform games, but it's nice to see them bringing back an iconic character like Bubsy and doing it right. And it's yet another feather in Atari's cap. They just seem to be doing everything right at the moment. They've got the whole retro thing just nailed at the moment. Atari are just absolutely flying ahead of everyone else in terms of embracing their legacy and putting out the kind of stuff that people want to see them do. They're really smashing it out of the park at the moment, and great to see them continuing that. But yes, let me know what you think down below, and I thank you for watching as always. I've been the Laird, and I'll see you all again for another video very soon. Bye bye.
Yo, remember me? Your old pal Bubsy? From all those classic games you loved.
Was it something I said? What could possibly go wrong?
Forget about that. Let's talk about the new one. Bubsy 4D! Now this I like. So, where are we going next? Don't mind if I do. Zoink! I wonder if that's more moves than that Italian plumber has. Ooh! What? Can anyone explain to me why I turn into a hairball now? They call me the Orange Blur. Do any of these outfits come with pants? You know I've only got one brain cell, right? And it's working overtime on this baby. Atari? I didn't even know they were still around.
At last, Castle Grayskull is mine!
Not so fast, Skeletor.
Whoa, what's happening? He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction coming soon to all platforms?
Yes, it's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction. Intense beat-em-up action that puts the power in your hands. Grab a friend and fight for Eternia with 4 playable heroes, classic arcade controls. It's powered-up pixel perfection for your gaming console or personal computer. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction, coming soon. From Limited Run Games.